The Nikon F3, one of the most renowned cameras ever to be released from Japan, and ultimately one of the most influential cameras of the entire 20th century. Robust, practical, and built like a tank, these cameras were really designed to be thrown about and even shot bullets at. These are famous for withstanding a lot of force, and in this video I'm going to show a little bit about the F3 and what it does, and why it's such a special camera. So taking a look at the F3, we've got instantaneous, nice design, very stylish, very 1980s. This came out in 1980 and was produced all the way up until 2001. It features completely manual shutter speeds with automatic mode with aperture priority with the lens, a 13 ball bearing advance, multiple exposures, on-off switch, and even a self timer. On the left we have exposure compensation with a dial here that can be adjusted up or down to up to 2 stops each way. A rewind arm here for the film, and the door can be opened with a little push of this lever and the lift of the door. There's a film in here currently, so I'm not going to open the door. It's a modular system camera, so this means all the parts are removable from the lens, the prism, and this has got a custom base plate on to stop the base getting scratched, just a cheap handle, which gives it a lot more comfortable use when using in the field. And to reinstall, it clicks, same with the lens, like that. The F3 is quite a popular camera among photographers due to its robust nature and the practicality. There are a few options on here that many photographers like, such as the depth of field preview, and then this is also a mirror lockup. So this completely locks the mirror up and allows you to focus on a tripod without the need of a shutter, and allows you to fire on a tripod without shake. And that can be simply dropped back down with a push of that. You've got a manual 90th of a second shutter speed here, and an exposure lock. It's quite an affordable camera, coming in between £200 to £300 here in the UK. This model was imported from Japan, and I think this was £260 once it was imported. They're a great camera to use, very useful, and with a very big variety of lenses that are available for them. This being the 35 f2.5 Series E, the slightly cheaper version because they're made of plastic, whereas the better ones are all made of metal. The lens features the AIS, so it has 2 scales and a little notch here, I don't know if you can see, but this interacts with a pin here on the body which tells the camera what aperture values you've set. So simply to install, you line it up and then that notch comes into contact, and then when you advance the aperture, that notch moves and that determines the exposure. For older style lenses like the AI series, you can press this button here and then pop that lever out, and that moves it out of the way so you can use the bunny ear style. That pops that back and put the lens on. So in terms of camera for film photography, the F3 is definitely one I'd recommend. If you can find one at a good price, you should definitely go for it. Stay tuned for more content involved in film photography.